welcome, welcome. Once again, I think most of you have been to our other sessions. If not, welcome, hello. This is the last one. So if you came for just the last one, that's fine, better than nothing. So as most of you know, this has been a ongoing series. So if you came to all of them, we had the first 4 sessions a couple of weeks ago. They were navigating SAS Polytech. You only needed to attend one of those sessions. That was like a broad overview just of the website. Heather Tway from Learning Services was here talking about getting started online. So she talked about My SAS Polytech, Brightspace, and so on. And then we had various Q&A sessions on different topics throughout the past 2 weeks. So we had one on getting settled and connected, which talked about, childcare, housing, transportation, SPSA stuff, that sort of thing. Then we went into academic success. That was all about library, learning services, and accessibility services. We then had an international specific one, which I think most of you here who are international, I believe you were there. And we had GiveGen answering questions there. So, and then what was the next one? Next one was Healthy Minds and Bodies. So that was on Tuesday. And that was all about counseling and fitness and recreation, and then campus safety and security and student relations. So this is the final one. The final one here is on career and employment services and student awards. So for those of you who have not been to every session, or all the other stuff that I just mentioned sounds like, oh, that's interesting, but I have no idea what she's talking about, there will be recordings of all of those other sessions posted to YouTube, hopefully before next week. It will be in like its own playlist called virtual orientation or just orientation. So I will send an email to everyone who is registered for any of these sessions with the playlist or the link to the playlist for all of those videos. So if you missed any of those other sessions, do not worry. They will be there. Well, I don't know about forever, but you'll be able to watch them at your own leisure. So I do recommend doing that if you weren't able to come to any of those other online sessions. And that's okay. Okay, Josh, you were traveling from India to Canada. Totally fine. That's why we recorded them. So you can absolutely watch those once they're published. And I will just keep checking your SAS Polytech emails. And that is where those the links will be sent to. All right, so we will go ahead and do our land acknowledgement, which again, if those of you who have not been to any of these sessions, we do this every single time that we, I'm just sending the link here in the chat. We do this every time we do a presentation. So I will read the land acknowledgement first, and then I will explain why we do it, what it is. I did send a link there in the chat, the one that's at the bottom of the page, that kind of goes over what a land acknowledgement is and why we do it. So I really recommend opening that and then reading it on your own time. We always have more to learn every single day, so might as well start here. So we would like to acknowledge that SAS Polytech is situated on Treaty 4 and Treaty 6 territories and the ancestral lands of the Cree, Saulteaux, Dene, Dakota, Lakota, Nakota peoples, and the traditional homeland of the Métis. So once again, what is a land acknowledgement and why do we do them? So a land acknowledgement is a formal statement that recognizes the unique and enduring relationship between Indigenous peoples of the land that is now called Canada and this land. There's a lot of complexities there, especially involving, settlers, which anyone who is not an Indigenous person of Canada is part of that process, right? So it's our job to ensure that we are always, acknowledging the land that we're on and that it does not belong to us, right? It's also really important to understand that land acknowledgements are not something that should be said in like past tense or in just a historical context, because the process of colonialism is ongoing. It's always changing every single day, and it's still very active. So I really recommend reading more about it on your own time. And every single campus also does have an Indigenous center with Indigenous advisors. We're always there, happy to educate and give, different insight into all of this. So I definitely recommend popping in for a visit whenever you can. Okay. All right. So without further ado, I will introduce our panel. They will do a formal introduction of themselves once it's their turn. But from Student Awards, we got Amanda Robinson, who's based in Regina. Student Employment Services, we have Sandra Saponsky, who is also in Regina. Actually, and guess what? Chantel Houchin in Career Counseling, also in Regina. and I am currently in Regina. So this is sort of like, oh, and okay, well, Greg's in Moose Jaw, but we have a big South crew here. So that's who's representing today. Whereas yesterday, or I'm sorry, Tuesday, I think everyone that was there, like everyone was North except for me. So look at that. We got the South here. All right. So I'll go ahead and hand the mic off to Amanda with student awards.
Awesome, thank you. So yeah, just to introduce myself, my name is Amanda Robinson, and I have been with Saskatchewan Polytechnic for close to 12 years now in the student awards area. And we did recently just hire another person. Her name is Victoria, and she is in Saskatoon, so she will be covering the North. So going forward, if there are any questions, if you are in that Saskatoon, Prince Albert area, you can be talking to Victoria, or we also have Janice Wilson in Prince Albert, and then myself, I will be covering the South campuses. So about student awards, just going over this slide here, how do you know which awards you're eligible for? So we just implemented as we're going into our second year of this new awards management system, but the application actually takes all of the answers that you have completed on your general application, along with any imported information, so your program, your campus, your year, all of your grades, all that information, we import that in from our student data system. And it actually matches you with all of the awards that you are going to be eligible for. Now, at that point, if the award is just based on financial need or academics, stuff that we've already imported in, there's nothing else for you to do. It's a really quick and easy process. However, if the award does have some additional criteria, you might need an essay, leadership, some sort of qualitative, I guess, data at that point, then you will be completing a supplemental questionnaire, which is typically 1 to 4 quick questions. And again, these awards will actually be recommended to you, but this would be the only case where you are going to need to do a little bit more of investigation into seeing if you're actually eligible for that award. So do you need to complete a general application in each awarding cycle? Not technically. Once you've completed that general application, it is going to be saved through or for the duration of the academic year. However, we do suggest that you come back into the awards management system at least once per cycle, just to make sure that you're not missing out on any of those recommended opportunities. All our awards do change from cycle to cycle. So if you're not coming back in, if you applied in summer and you don't hop back in the fall, you're going to miss all of those fall awards. And again, if your situation changes throughout the academic year, we do suggest that you come back in and update your general application with your most current data. So for that third question, how do you find out if you've been selected for an award? So there are 2 ways that you're going to be notified. First, you're going to receive an email to your SAS Polytech email address with a link to the application system and details regarding the award you've received. Typically, that email doesn't have a lot of information. It's going to be the name of the award, the value, and a little link saying, click here for more information. However, the formatting on that email is not great. And sometimes it looks a little questiony, that are like, oh, should I be clicking on this link? Totally understand that. If you're not comfortable with clicking on a link, you can always log back into the system. There will be a banner. So I think it's kind of yellow. It kind of depends on your settings on your screen. There's a banner at the top that will say you've been selected for, and you can follow that link, or you can go right into your profile on the system. And again, it will show up under the needs attention area. It'll say that we're requiring some post acceptance, which is just a thank you to the donor, a photo. There may be a document or 2 that you have to upload, but the system will also let you know if you've been selected for an award. And so then after that point, how long does it take to receive an award? It can take anywhere from a few weeks to a month from the point of that notification, depending what is required of the award. We do typically wait 3 weeks after we've done all of our notifications to allow students to complete their thank yous, submit their photos, anything. And after that point, we do close that option off and forward it off to finance for processing. However, if you hop into the system right after you've been notified and complete all of your documentation, we're going to forward it to finance right away. So it really depends on how quickly you do react to those emails. But once it's sent to finance, They will be sending out e-transfers for domestic students, and I believe it's a bank transfer for international students. And that is a new process for student awards this year. Previously, we were mailing out checks, and we all know how long that can take and the complications that come with that, being a student, moving, all of those things. So it's hoping to be a lot quicker of a process. Should take only about 1 to 3 business days once we have submitted your request to finance. And I just saw a question come in. When are we able to apply for the awards? So depending on your status, if you are a domestic or international student, international students do have to wait until you've completed a semester at Saskatchewan Polytechnic before you can apply, just so that we have some grades to look at. If you're a domestic student, though, we do have a current application cycle that's open right now, and it will close on September 15th. And then we have a fall and winter cycle. Fall opens October 1st and will close November 15th. And then our fall cycle is, or sorry, our winter cycle is January 10th to February 15th.
Yeah, there's the one on if we receive the award, will we be provided a T4A at the end of the year for tax filing?
Yes, and just to keep in mind that the T4As are going to be coming on a calendar year, not an academic year. So if you receive a scholarship in these first 2 cycles, you will be receiving something in February. But if you receive something from that winter cycle, watch for it the next year. And I do believe they can just be printed off from your MySAS Polytech. I don't think they get mailed out as like a T4 or a T2202 would.
Getting good questions.
For sure. So if you aren't a student till the fall cycle, can we apply for a cycle that is open right now? You absolutely can. The awards that are open right now are kind of for the early bird gets the worm situation. They are for the students who are coming in the fall. So we kind of have before you start school, a fall September or a fall semester application period, and then that winter one as well. A T4A is a tax form for any other income received, and scholarships and bursaries can be considered as income if they are over a certain amount. I do believe that amount is $1,800. But typically, if you are a full-time student, you're going to have enough other things that you are not going to be paying taxes on your student awards, but you still have to claim them.
And then can you apply for more than one term for the scholarships?
Yeah, you can apply at any point, and you are eligible to receive a scholarship or multiple scholarships through all 3 awarding cycles. So yes, absolutely apply throughout the entire academic year.
And then you answered about, there was a question about continuing education. Did you already mention that? Can like continuing education or online students apply for student awards?
No, not at this time, unfortunately, because we have to provide all of our reporting to the Ministry of Advanced Education. So we do all of our scholarships for the School of Advanced Education. So continuing education is kind of with or outside of our reporting structure and our scholarships. So right now we do not offer scholarships, bursaries, or awards for continuing education students.
Every time I'm at these sessions, I learn more too, because you mention it and then there's just, I seem to forget for some reason throughout the year. So it's good to have my reminders too if people ask me. So thank you, Amanda. Okay, it doesn't look like we have anything else quite yet. So I'm just answering a direct question. Because I just know we have a little bit of time, nothing crazy, but I figured, sorry, I'm just trying to find the page. I kind of want to show what the page looks like, the student awards page, and then the scholarship search as well. I'm trying to navigate the new website. I don't think it's too much different here, but if you want to look at more information, again, bear with me. The website has changed after weeks of me showing you all that it's a certain way. But is it admissions?
Yes, it's under
Yes.
admissions and tuition and financial aid. And you
Perfect.
can find student awards. Our frequently asked questions, which really does go in depth into the whole application system and all the questions, is also listed on the website as well.
Okay.
And
Oh,
then
yeah.
there's just that blue button that's a little bit higher up, and that is where you go to log into the application system. And you do need to be signed into your MySAS Polytech, and then it's like a single sign on. So you will just go right into it.
Apply, please apply if you can. Like, really, I mean, I know there's no such thing as a free lunch, but like it's kind of like free money. I mean, there's what, thousands of dollars that are unclaimed every year, right, Amanda?
There is. It's definitely getting less and less each year with this system, but still, it doesn't benefit my job to keep those funds. I would much rather pay it out to the students, be supporting you guys while you're going through your academic journey. And if it's there, the intent is that it's going to support a student. So it makes your donors happy, it makes your student happy. You know, that's the point of them.
Exactly. Okay, so there is another question here. When I was looking at the form, there was an option for what income you make. Is that during your time of employment or what you would be making while you are in school?
That's actually a great question. So the question, or all of the financial need questions are going to be for the duration of the period that you're in school for the academic year. So if you're going to be taking a 2, 3, or 4-year course, we are just looking at the 23-24 academic year. Income, all those resources are going to be calculated monthly. And then there's another little section of the other resources that are annually. So pay attention to, you know, the information that you are inputting in there, because we don't want you to be over or understating your financial situation. But just for the 8, 9, or 10 months that you are in school this year is what we're looking for.
It's a really good question. Okay, I think there's like, I feel like these two questions are sort of similar, so I'll ask them like as one. So what are the eligibility requirements for student awards, and can we apply for any award, or does it have to suit with the program that we're in?
So the eligibility requirements are typically going to be a program, a level, a campus. There may be more to it. You might have to be a member of a certain association. You might have to have some leadership or some volunteerism activities that you've done in the past, but typically we're looking at the program for the eligibility. The system is going to weed out all those ones that you're not eligible for. So you're not really even going to be able to just blanket apply for all the awards. They will match you up with the ones that you are eligible for, and then you can just kind of submit your general application and be done. And sorry, what was the other question?
That was basically it. Like,
Oh, that was it? Okay. Perfect.
And then, okay, and then Josh T, I'll show you here, is how to find the site again. So we're on student employment. I'm already ahead of myself, Sandra. Just ignore this. Okay, so from the main SAS Polytech site to saspolytech.ca, you would go here to admissions, and then tuition and financial aid, and then student awards. And honestly, I always just press the search button. I just search and put student awards, and that usually gets me there a little faster.
Yes.
But,
student awards, scholarships, bursaries, really any of those words is going to bring you to here. But
yeah. This is a good question. Should I apply for awards even if I am Indigenous receiving funding from a band?
absolutely. Even if you are receiving some sort of support or resources, there are scholarships that are going to be based on academics as well. There's awards that are going to be a combination of your academics, your financial, and some other criteria. So, I mean, all things aside, any support that you can receive throughout the year is going to be beneficial for you, and it might relieve some of that stress of, you know, having to pay your bills, having to focus on your studies. There's really no downside to applying for a scholarship. And there are lots of scholarships for our equity students. So we do have our 4 equity groups and our international students as well that we have specific awards set aside for. So especially as an Indigenous student, there is a large amount of awards that you would be eligible for.
All right, do we have any other questions? Oh, we just got one.
Yes, Hannah, you can apply right now.
Right. So if we don't, perfect. So if we don't have any more questions, and once again, as per usual, I will be sending out a follow-up email with all the links to everything that we've been talking about. So you will be able to look around and learn a little bit more. It'll also be explained to you during your program orientations. So basically just your first day of classes. Okay, Ernest, Ernest is thinking ahead. We will be talking about employment opportunities soon here. Okay, anything involving tuition, I can talk to you after the fact. We're just going to touch on the things that are relevant right now just for the questions. So I'll try and answer that when I can in the chat, but just bear with me. Okay, so if there's no other questions about student awards specifically, okay, then I'm going to go ahead and move on. Again, Ernest, you are ahead of it because that is what we're touching on now is employment opportunities. Well, sort of. The person in charge of knowing that stuff. Oh, okay. Here's one. Okay, here's our other question for student awards. Sorry, Sandra. Stay put.
Oh, all good.
Are only full-time students eligible to apply for awards, not part-time students?
It does really depend on the program. I know there are lots of awards that, depending on the program, if it's offered on a part-time basis, we will obviously be providing those ones to part-time students, but I would say probably 98% of the awards that we do offer are for full-time students on campus.
Okay. Perfect. These are all really good questions. Okay. It's good that there's activity because we've had these before where like maybe two people will ask questions and it's like, you obviously have, come on, ask away. This is your chance. Okay. But I think we will probably be moving on now. Thank you, Amanda. Is there
Not a
anything,
problem.
if anything else pops up in the chat and you happen to see it, feel free to answer. If not, I can do my best here too. Okay. So let's go ahead and move on to Sandra with Student Employment Services.
Hi, everybody. I'm glad you're on here and looking forward to meeting you all at the different campuses. I'm Sandra Saponsky. I've been the Student Employment Services Coordinator at Regina campus, sorry, for about 17 years. So thanks, Kelsey, for putting the links on there. We have a coordinator at each campus, except at this time we don't have one in Prince Albert. So we are all sharing that campus right now. So for example, I'll be up in Prince Albert September 11, 12, 13 doing some presentations at noon hour and after classes. So if you're registered at the Prince Albert campus, please come and see me on any of those days. I'll be able to help you out and give you a little bit more information on what we're doing and what we do for you. So I know we've got 5 questions here. The one is, I know it's the first day of classes, but I need a job. I want a job immediately. What do I do? What I always say is I ask everyone to come back after about a week, because you're coming here for school. You're coming here for education. I understand that you do need a job, but the program is quite intense. A lot of our programs are quite intense. I would like you to get your bearings first of all with the program, see what time you'll have available, see how many hours you do of homework and things along that line. So for practicality purposes, sorry, I'd like you to try to come see me afterwards or come email me or contact us. I know that a lot of you do need a job immediately, so I'm just going to suggest a couple of sites. So Indeed and sasjobs.ca are 2 very good sites that have a lot of employment opportunities on them. I know a lot of you will be wanting part-time jobs, things along that line. So a lot of opportunities will be on indeed.ca and sasjobs.ca. Now, number 2, are there employment court opportunities on campus? Unfortunately, not. I'm going to say, if you are looking for a job at SAS Polytech, you have to apply through our HR department, and that's under SAS Polytech /careers/ that's all, just /careers, sorry. But since you're here for school, chances are you will not be looked at for for that, any opportunities here until you're done your programming. Also, we have our cleaners and we have security. All of our outside folks are contracted by Saskatchewan Polytechnic. So we do not have opportunities here. Our cafeterias are staffed by students. And for our culinary programs, there are a few uh, opportunities that way just for the culinary students. But again, any opportunity on campus is all contracted out. You can talk to recruitment. They sometimes hire some ambassadors. Um, and if you're interested and able to, we do tutoring. We do have tutoring that's available, and that you'll apply through our learning services area for that. So, but that is again another opportunity that is could be on campus, may not be on campus with that. Are you able to help with resumes? I am certainly able to help with resumes. If you've got one going and so this is going to be 3 and 4 sort of. If you've got a resume prepared, make an appointment to come see us. And with it, you'll be able to click add resume. So send us your resume online. We can take a look at it. We can possibly, if you're an international student, make it sort of for Canadian workplaces. Um, we can help with resumes, cover letters, job interview skills, mock interviews, things along that line. In October, we are presenting a resource that will be on your Brightspace account. So Brightspace is where all of your courses will be for all of the programs. And on that, you will get a course, and it's going to be called Road to Employment Resource. One, it's just going to show up there. We're not sure exactly the date that we're going to be putting it on there, but it'll be on Brightspace. It has nothing to do with your marks. It will not bring your mark up or down. It has nothing at all to do with averages or anything along that line. So it's a resource that has many modules in it. For example, resume writing, cover letters, working in the Canadian workplace, mock interviews, skills that you'll need. You may need you may want to be asking us, but it's all on this resource, and it is a wealth of knowledge on the resource. We're really pleased to be able to present that to you. So again, it will be on your Brightspace Road to Employment resource. I have no employment experience. How to make a resume? Again, pop in here or make an appointment online. Um, and sometimes you think you have no employment, but you have many other experiences. I don't mean sometimes you think you don't have it, but your life experience can count as so much. Um, when you're making a resume. So for example, if you're a mom with 2 kids and you haven't been working for a while, or you're just out of high school, we can make that very a really valuable resume for you. Um, the employers that come on campuses, so are there events on campuses where we can talk and network with employers? We have many events on campuses, on all of our campuses. So our major one every year is our career fair. Um, we have over Regina campus had 85 employers on campus, Saskatoon 107. So every spot that's available, we try to put an employer in. Um, and it is not open to the public. It is open only to Saskatchewan Polytechnic students and alumni. And the employers that are here to hire and to meet and to be able to network with our students. It's our campuses are very popular. Most of the programs that you will be in, I will probably not ever need to see you, or vice versa. Um, a lot of the programs you are hired before you're finished the program. Our businesses love Saskatchewan Polytechnic, and our programs are aimed for business and industry with that. So um, we will have Zoom events. So we have employer presentations on uh, the last Thursday of every month, and it's on a Zoom call. It's recorded. And if you're interested in getting that, you can send us an email on that. There's a list on our Saskatchewan Polytechnic .ca website under student employment services. Kelsey, are you going to do that or not? Okay, perfect. So it's going to be, again, here we are.
This is easier for me.
I know, that's good. But if you see on the top line, so programs and courses, admissions,
Yes.
student loans or student services, international, if you go under research and industry, you'll see the employers, and I'll just show you this, what our employers do. They can post jobs for students. So 3 down is post jobs for students. It will be brought to this page. They'll sign up, and then you can, or they'll sign in, I should say, sign up, and then they can be on there and post jobs for you. If you go to that on our student services site and go under career services,
Still getting used to this.
there,
Apologies,
I know
everyone.
it's brand new, you guys. They just made it on Monday, and we're like, what the heck is going on here? So student employment services is there, and this is the page that we're on here. So if you're looking at getting on the job board, you'll see sign up and log in on the 2. The sign up one will bring you to the page that we were just seeing in the employer page. You have to sign up before you can log in. So there's a sign up and sign in. Once you click onto that, you have to sign up on it before you get a password and things along that line. We just have to approve you on that. You may get an email. Again, we're just trying to figure out dates and things like that. You may get an email indicating that you are signed up for this online job board by Simplicity. It's called Simplicity CSM. It's our online job board. If you get that email, respond to that, and then you will be automatically signed in on here. If not, you can just sign up there and you'll get everything there. You'll see the one-on-one services, what we do there, book an appointment online. That gets you right to this area here. Go down a little bit further and you'll see I need help with resume, cover letter, things along that line. Just click on that and you'll be able to book into an appointment here. So, and our names are there and things along that line. So there's Holly, and that's okay. We won't show the others. But
Oh, Sandra doesn't have a photo there. Come on,
I
Sandra.
do. I don't know where it went. That's okay. Holly Bell is out of our no, she's not. She's out of our Moose Jaw campus. Deb Stevenson is out of our Saskatoon campus. I'm out of Regina campus. And again, we all work for the Prince Albert campus. So back to the page, I think, Kels. And our upcoming events, you'll see that there. So the employer presentations are there for, I know that our international services area is doing a couple of there. So how do I write a resume and job interview tips and tricks that I'm going to be doing for them in September. And then if you want to just click on employer presentation, that one there. So this is going to be our employers that are here on campus quite often. They're going to be doing a Zoom call the last Thursday of every month. And again, that's at lunchtime, but it will be recorded and you just have to register as well with that. So the volunteer is, again, I would just suggest not specific volunteer opportunities that we are aware of, but I would suggest just going on to Google and searching, are you out of Moose Jaw? Moose Jaw volunteer in Moose Jaw, and then you will be able to get some information there. You may be able to talk to your instructor as well. They might have some information that you may be able to help with that.
I'll find the link. I have a link to a really good resource. I can't seem to remember it off the top of my head, but I will go ahead and send it in the chat.
Oh yeah, perfect. I thought you had that.
I have it in one of my presentations and I feel terrible that I cannot remember
exactly.
So bear with me here.
Exactly. So I'm just gonna answer Ernest's answer. Um, I'm unfortunately not able to help until you are in a program. So when you're here in January, I can help you with that. Again, I would just go on saskjobs.ca or indeed.ca for the cybersecurity program. Um, and see what you can do there. I don't have anything that I'm aware of here, but the opportunities will be out there. And again, SAS Jobs is a wealth of knowledge, and there's so many job opportunities that are posted on that.
Oh, here we go. Found the volunteer page.
Okay, good.
I'll go ahead and send that in
Thank
the
you.
chat. Again, it's usually in my follow-up email too, but let's see.
Okay, I
Volunteer.
tried to sign up, but it's saying number is incorrect. Are you using your SAS Polytech number? Thanks, Kelpie. You need to use the 3 zeros before, so it's a 9-digit SAS Poly number.
Yeah.
And as Kelsey said, she'll send things on your SAS Polytech email to you. You can use any, I'll try to take a look at it after in a second here. You can use any email, but always every day look at your SAS Polytech email. You will receive many, many things. We're only going to send you things onto your SAS Polytech email. So you can miss out a lot of options and opportunities if you do not have that on that.
Yeah, I just want to quickly add on that. And I know we have a few other questions here too, but just note that I'm sending these follow-up emails to all of the emails that were registered. So that will include your personal emails. But just know that for the future, everything's going to be your SAS Polytech email. So if you're wondering why you haven't gotten your course schedule, for example, but all you've been checking is your AOL, I don't think that's even a thing anymore. There's your problem. You got to check your SAS Polytech email. But again, I will be sending this stuff to all, like just the emails who registered, which will include your personal email, but that typically is not standard. So just wanted you to keep that in mind. Anyway, okay. So
Ernest, I'm not sure I understand that.
the SAS Polytech says has a 93% employment rate. Is that
Yeah, 97 actually was yesterday with Dr. Larry said us.
97?
Yeah, I can help you again, as I say, once you are physically enrolled in your program. I cannot help you until you have started your program. And I see someone about the Simplicity Job Board. Yes, you can sign up if once you have your job email or your SAS Poly student number, you can sign up to Simplicity.
Okay.
What else do we have?
I think that looks like that's it right now. Does anyone else have any questions directly related to this? Yeah, I feel like this is always one of those things it's a little bit easier once you're actually here.
Yes.
To get a little bit more information.
Yeah.
Okay, Josh T, Sandra will help you after this.
Yeah.
Okay, Sandra.
Yeah. I'm just not sure why that's not working.
Yeah.
Can you just send me an email actually to Student Employment Services?
I'll write it in the chat.
Thank you. And then I'll take a look at that and see about getting you on there.
Did I type it right? Student Employment
Services at saskpolytech.ca. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then I think we will go ahead and move on, though, if you do have other questions about that in the chat, Sandra, if you want to answer them in there,
Yep.
great. If not, just send an email. You know the drill, right? And then if you just like have another question that might not have to do anything with this, where you're just once again, you can always reach out to me as well as student engagement. Oh, another question here. Where can we find employment rates for accounting certificate programs year by year at SAS Polytech?
Our last employment survey came out. Oh my goodness, Kelsey, it's been a few years since our employment survey has come out, so I'm not sure, to be honest with you, where you could find that. Again, I probably won't have to see a lot of you because you will be offered opportunities before you're done your program. So I don't think I've seen very many accounting certificate uh, folks in my years here with it. So again, I don't have the stats on that for year by year, but I'm very confident that you will find employment.
I can speak a little to that. Part
Oh,
of my
perfect.
job is knowing about the labor market, and accounting is one that I was just looking at the other day. And I saw cybersecurity as well. Both of those industries are very good right now. So the job outlooks are very good, meaning that someone who's got training in that field should have no problems finding employment within Saskatchewan.
Thanks, Chantel.
All right. Speaking of Chantel, we're going to go ahead and move on to her, which might seem similar to student employment services. And while there are definitely, parallels, it's a little bit of a different thing. So, and I'm actually excited to hear more too, because I feel like I think I know about career counseling, but I have a lot to learn. And that's why, again, selfishly, I like doing these because I continuously learn more too. So, Chantel, is your turn. Ready, go.
All right. So yes, as Kelsey mentioned, I'm Chantel. I'm one of 3 counselors, career counselors for Sask Poly. I'm in Moose Jaw and Regina, and we have Kathy, who is in Saskatoon, and we have Laura, who is in Prince Albert. And so just a quick little 10-second overview of the differences between employment counseling and career counseling. Career counseling tends to happen at the beginning before you've even started, helping you figure out what career field is a good fit for you. Employment counseling tends to happen near the end once you've taken your training and you're ready to actually get out there and start working. So career counseling is basically a way to help you figure out what career is going to be the best fit for you. So when you choose a career path, you don't want to just choose anything. You've got to make sure that you're taking the time to figure out what is going to be the best fit for you, because that's the way that you're going to find something that's going to be much longer lasting. So imagine you had to buy yourself a pair of shoes and you just went to the mall and you just grabbed whatever pair of shoes you found first. You took them home. Well, obviously pay for them first and then you take them home. What would happen, right? If you're just grabbing that first pair, they might not fit you. You might think they're ugly. They might not serve the purpose. So maybe you wanted running shoes, but you grabbed a pair of high heel stilettos. That's not going to be the right fit, right? So you want to take that time and figure out what is right for you. A lot of you have already chosen what program you're taking. And my hope is that it's the right fit for you. You're going to finish it. You're going to complete your program. You're going to find employment and everything's going to be rainbows and butterflies. However, if you find that maybe you haven't chosen the right program for yourself and you figure out that it's not the right fit for you, we're here to help you figure out what that might be. Or maybe you'll take this program now and in the future you decide you want to take something a different program later on. Again, that's what we're here to help you with. So let's say that you decide you want to meet with a career counselor. What can you expect at that career counseling session? So at a career counseling session, you're going to meet with a trained professional who's got extensive experience to kind of help you guide that through that process, because it can be a little scary trying to figure out what to do with your life, right? So counseling sessions can take place in person, they can take place over the phone, or they can take place over Zoom. So the process though can look a little different for everyone depending on what you need and what you're wanting. Some of the things that can happen, you can have a one-to-one counseling session where you're just kind of talking things through. Sometimes just having someone to talk things out loud with can really make a big difference in how you process things for yourself. We also offer formal assessments. Some might be free and some there might be a little bit of a cost, but some of these assessments can help you really explore yourself, learn more about your interests, your likes, and your values, and how those can match up with a good career field for you. We can also help with the labor market. So when I spoke earlier about cybersecurity and accounting having very good job outlooks, this is something that we can help you with. You don't want to spend a whole lot of time and money on a training program and then find out there's no jobs or the wages aren't very good. And so looking at the labor market information ahead of time can really help you make sure that you're going to be able to have access to jobs, and that those jobs will have wages that are going to suit your lifestyle. So if you decide that you're going to need some help with career planning, you can go to the SAS Poly website and just search for career counseling. You can book a one-on-one appointment there. You can register to attend one of our webinars. We offer webinars over lunch and sometimes in the evenings over a number of topics. You can also pop by the Student Services office at your campus and they can help you book an appointment as well. So I know I threw a whole lot of information at you in the last couple of minutes here. Are there any questions? So yes, I actually predominantly work with people who are not students yet. So most of the people I meet with are prospective students, students who want to know whether or not SAS Poly is going to be the right fit for them. What other questions are there? So yeah, so if you're looking for labor market information, job outlooks and that sort of thing, it is best to book a one-to-one, so that way we can kind of take some time and we can go through those. But if you find that maybe you don't have the time to do that, or you'd rather explore things on your own, you can go to the Government of Canada, their job bank. So it's just jobbank.gc.ca. And they have a section there called Labor Market Trends. And you can look under there, you'll be able to get information about wages, about job outlooks, there's job profiles, there's all sorts of information that you can find on there. But I would say the best route would be to book a one-on-one or come to one of our webinars where you can get that information. Any other questions?
Chantel, you're so informative. Oh, good. Okay, there are still questions. I'm like, I don't even know if there's gonna be, but Nantha has one there. Are there any employment guidance? Is there any employment guidance and opportunities for alumni or only for current students?
So for me, I will meet with anyone, whether you're a student or not. I will meet with anyone. I know there are some differences. There are some different expectations in terms of the employment services, but in terms of career counseling, I can meet with anyone regardless.
And I work with alumni as well. I would first of all get onto the alumni page that we've got on our website and take a look on that. And then we can totally, once you've got a SAS Poly number and you have been through your program or are in your program at present, we'll be able to help you out.
Anything else? I wish I know this okay, let me just say, I know this stuff existed at the U of R when I went there, not to call out U of R, but like I didn't know it was there until way later. You know, they weren't talking about it. It was just one of those things I had to hope I walked by an office, right? So it's pretty cool here that Chantel is sharing all the knowledge before you even start. So this is wonderful. Okay, for now, I might skip to the next slide here. You want Chantel, I don't know if it's covering kind of the same stuff, but it's a nice slide.
Yeah, I already kind of did that information.
Yeah. You know what to expect. Okay. I feel like, I don't know, again, also when I was in high school, I'm sorry, not trying to monopolize, just if people are asking questions or maybe I can get your head moving a little bit or your, what are the words? The gears going? I don't know the term. I know when I was in like middle school or probably more high school, I don't remember. I think I was like too young to know what I was doing, but nevertheless, we took a, an aptitude test, and it was kind of like the automated version of, and a very like, I guess, lesser quality version of what Chantel does, but just kind of filling out, what are your values? What do you enjoy? And so on. And I remember I got like, I don't even know, it was like something that's actually weirdly similar to what I do now. It was something I was like event organizer or something like that. And I was thinking, I don't know, that doesn't sound like something I want to do. I want to be a marine biologist or whatever it was, right? And then lo and behold, my values and things have pretty much stayed the same. And that's where I'm at. So it's interesting how some of those things can actually really speak to what might be meant for us. So I don't know. Again, if I had someone like Chantel, it would have been a little bit more specific, I'm sure. Oh, interesting. Okay, question. Is there any published book from SAS Polytech about a list of employers for all courses in Saskatchewan?
No, but that's a great
Cool.
idea.
Nanda, there you go. You should start that. Like that'll patent that one. That'll make
Yeah. A lot of our, as I said, a lot of our business partners and industry partners value our college, our campuses in very high regard. So um pretty much any place. I don't even know. That would be such a great idea to do that. A lot of the employers, like I always say, every employer needs an accountant. Every big building needs a building systems technician. Every car place needs a mechanic and an auto body detailer or auto body technician. Like our programs and our classes are used every day. So if you go to a beauty salon, get your hair done, we have an esthetician course in our Prince Albert campus. If something happens with your plumbing, we've got plumbing courses. If you need something welded with your car, we've got our welding programs. If you go to the doctors, we have most of our nurses are CCAs, or most of the nurses CCAs have been trained out of SAS Polytech. Go to a dental place, all of our dental hygienists and dental assistants have been trained out of SAS Polytech. So it's we don't really need to book. We just sort of have every employer that has the opportunity to hire. So everyone needs, as I say, an accountant or an education person. So yeah, it's really a wonderful, wonderful place.
it really is. It's very unique with, with a polytechnic versus
Yes.
like a four-year university, which of course, both have their pros and their cons, but especially like I'm from the US, I'm from California, and it was all like about, it's all universities or or private universities, whatever. There were like vocational schools and so on, which are probably the closest thing, I guess, to a polytechnic, but it really is a unique thing here where, again, our institution, as Sandra said, and I know you've heard it a million times, but like works with the industry, like works with them, like fully, not just, okay, you got the training, go on, it's like they're not holding your hand per se, but there's just so much overlap that it's very hard to not get a job after SAS Poly. I mean, really, it's not, especially
It
with,
really is.
yeah, and especially with what with Sandra and Chantel offer. But also, I mean, Sandra, I will say, I don't know, did you mention career fairs?
Yeah.
Oh, you did. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just want to
And
make
we've had at our career fairs, we've had students hired that day. We've had interviews. Um, we've had as I say, job offers hired that day, job interviews set up for the following day or week. You are in high demand. We don't have a program that is just a program because we want a program. If a program is not required, they'll stop that program. We need the students at all of our programs are our business and industries are very important. So as Kelsey said, it's a partnership almost with a lot of the employers here. We wouldn't have a program when we needed a mining program. We made up a mining program. When we needed a cybersecurity program, we made that up as well. So it's instructors here love what they do, and they want to be able to share all of their knowledge with you so that you can go on and be successful employees.
Sandra, we have a question about are there any career fairs happening soon? So do you want to share about when the next
Sure. Our physical career fairs on campus are in March this year. We don't really have one at the beginning of our um school years. We want to get you through some of your programs, through some of the sorry, through some of your courses and classes, and then our employers come in March so that they'll be able to get you hired if possible in May. So we have a lot of summer student programs that some of our employers offer, and they're a 4 month stint. So June, July, no, May, June, July, and August are what a lot of the employers have for summer student options. So we do have, there are other career fairs that go on in the city, but the specific ones here are just for our students, as I say, and employers pay to come to the career fair, so they're not paying just to come and hang out. They're coming to hire our students.
That's why typically when you go to a career fair, it is like fun. It actually is. Even though I'm not like actively searching for career, it's just an interesting thing to go to, and you meet a lot of people and you get an opportunity to network and sort of practice some, the soft skills that you might learn that are not so much your technical skills that you pick up in school, but the like being able to like speak with someone like on a professional level and networking and showcasing your personality outside of just what you can do technically, which we'll go into that. There's also a no conference that we encourage you to attend, but we're still figuring out those things, but you will hear more about that. Do not worry. But you typically want to go to a career fair, dressing like you're about to go to an interview, like wearing the clothes you would wear to an interview, bringing your resume, being ready, as Sandra said, really to get like hired on the spot potentially.
Yeah.
So career fairs are really a really unique and good opportunity for all sorts of stuff. And even
Exactly.
if you on the spot, you might speak with someone who knows someone who, XYZ can really use someone with your skill set. So
Exactly, yeah.
really good to
And right now on our career fair site, we do have tips and tricks for attending a career fair. What month of year more employment opportunities will pop up in calendar year? I would say March. A lot of our employers want to hire you um before you're gone from here. So that's why we have the career fairs in March. You'll see some different opportunities, and if we have employers that need people prior to that, they'll come and they'll have a presentation in your class. Um, I know that we're able to do that later on again in the year once you've figured out a little bit of once the instructors have figured out a lot of things that are needed. They'll have employers come in. Our welders go out on to job sites and get a tour of job sites. There's so many options for you as well here, and the employer presentation series is again another option that's really going to have a lot of value to our students and for employment opportunities.
Yeah, that link I sent just above Anantha's comment is with career fair information. I definitely recommend clicking that. It will be in that follow-up email. I know I sound like a broken record, but I always want to remind you so nobody panics when this is done, which honestly may be well before 4:30 because again, a little bit of a smaller group. But okay, I'm gonna go ahead and close this. Oh, that's not the way to do it, is it? Hold on. Stop sharing. Okay, so while you have us all, this is sort of a unique opportunity that has not been a thing with the other Q&As just because of the amount of people and so on. So again, ask whatever questions. And again, if it's not super relevant to this topic, maybe you can just email me. But you can turn off your mic if you want. You can just speak up. You can still use that chat, doesn't matter. Don't be shy. Give all of us fun, hilarious folks here to laugh at their own jokes. Is there anything that any of you wanted to add, Sandra, Amanda, or Chantel? Something that just popped up and you're like, oh, I should mention that.
I just want to say we're here to make your journey at South Polytech successful. So our job is to, as Chantel said, help you with different career opportunities if you're not sure if this shoe is the right shoe or you need to get a different shoe, things along that line. We're here to help. And with Amanda, please apply for some of those student awards. It's amazing. We have so much money that is given by our donors, and it's just sitting there. So please take a look at it and um, see what you can apply for.
Yeah, just another little tidbit on that too. A lot of our donors are also future employers. So if they're going
Right.
to see your
Oh,
name
there
on
you
that
go.
recipient report, they're like, oh, I think I gave a scholarship to that student. There's a very good chance that you'll get hired if they're seeing your name in repeat situations.
Very
So
true. Yeah.
good leg up on your competition. It's an awesome thing to throw in with your resume before you go visit Sandra and, flesh that out. So, yeah, please apply. And also from a student perspective, when I was a student back in the day, I used the career counseling services and they did encourage me to continue on. And I don't think I would have been where I am today without that service. So it's amazing.
That's great.
We do have a couple of questions. I feel like there's a few different ways to answer this question, but how come we need to bring a laptop to class if we have an educator? I guess that depends on your program, Catherine. I feel like I don't know how to really answer that. Maybe someone else could better than me.
I can kind of speak to that a little bit. So I used to be an instructor in our career enhancement program, and a lot of courses are run off a system called Brightspace. And oftentimes when you're in class, your instructor would like you to open up, maybe they may have downloaded some handouts for you, some websites that they might need you to visit while they're speaking about something. And so having that laptop in class will have you give you the chance to access the resources that the instructor might be talking about at that moment. Also helps you if you need to take notes and other things like that.
Yeah, very true.
You get hand cramps like I do. Oh yeah, Harpreet. So just really quickly about the bus pass. That would be something you'll want to talk to SPSA about, or the Student Association, depending on your campus. Well, I shouldn't say that. SPSA is on all campuses. So it's the office that you want to physically go talk to them in person, and they will help you get a bus pass at a discounted price. So once you are on campus, if you're not sure where that office is, you can really ask anyone. You can ask the front desk, whether that's a security or whoever, and they'll point you in the right direction. But yeah, the Student Association is where you want to go for the bus pass. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, I missed you. Kaylin, hope I said that correctly. One of those. If you're going to be at SAS Polytech for 2 years, would I be eligible for getting hired sooner, or would I have to wait it out till the end by the employers of the career fair?
No, you're eligible pretty much any time. I'm going to say, for example, a summer job, part-time, that you could be hired for the summer of 1 year and then back to school, and you might go into a part-time position at that employer, and then they could possibly hire you full-time at the end of that. So any opportunity is a great opportunity, even if it's something that you're looking at and it's a term position or a casual position or a part-time, anything like that is going to be fantastic opportunities for you.
Anything else? If not, I might have some mercy and let you all go just a little early. Okay, okay. Oh, there we go. Okay, I think this is more for Amanda. I'm looking at the general application for student awards. If I receive a student loan, does it count as monthly income?
I do believe you're going to be entering your student loan as an annual income. I think that's in that section, or that second section of the incomes. But yes, it obviously is going to count towards your income and resources for the year.
And Anantha, I don't think there's any age limit on summer jobs. I don't think that would be a thing.
Not at all. There's not a age limit on anything.
Well,
And
surely
that's actually one thing on your resume. I know that some people in some different countries do have to put their birth date on your resume. Here it's I'll say against the law to have someone ask you your age. So you, if you get a second, take a look at the Saskatchewan Human Rights Commission. We do a little bit of a session on that as well, but it is what the employers are able to ask you, what you as an employee, as a positive employee, as a possible, employee is able to ask the employer. We do have a lot of rules that are not, employers are not able to ask you at all. So no, age definitely is not gonna hinder you at all.
My gosh, I hope over 30 I could, whew,
Yeah.
30 on the dot, but nevertheless. Okay, for student awards, Amanda.
Will
Sorry,
that also?
go ahead, Natalie.
Oh, sorry. Would that also apply? Would that also apply for scholarship or application? I mean, the age. I mean, I'm gonna be 40 soon, so if I want to, it doesn't matter how old I am.
It doesn't necessarily matter how old you are, but there are some scholarships that are actually for mature students. And so Sask Polytech does define that as 26 or older as a mature student. Some scholarships are going to be a little bit different if a donor has specified that they want a mature student, but they've also indicated their own age. I think there's one that is 23 years or older. So I guess in that sense, it's an advantage for you. But again, there's not too many scholarships that are for mature students. They're open to anybody.
Okay, thank you. I also have a little question, maybe not relevant, and maybe Kelsey can help me with this, the parking. I did, on Monday, I'm gonna be there more than 5 hours. So, but I have to go inside and do the parking lot system as a student, not as a visitor.
Right. So, Natalie, is it pronounced Natalie? Am I saying it incorrectly?
Yes, good.
Okay. If you want,
Good.
you can email me because so there's a few different ways to pay for parking. You don't have to do it the way where you like go inside. There's way easier ways. There's like there's an app called Honk Mobile. It's similar to I don't know if there's like the pay for parking. It's basically you just pay with your credit card on your phone. Like you put in your license plate stuff. You don't have to.
Yeah, I did it already.
Then you're set. That will work for student parking. You just you can get like a pass if you should be set. But yes, you'll have to still park in the student parking lots because which campus will you be at?
Regina.
Yeah. So as long as you have that Honk mobile app, there will be like you can find the section that is where you're parked and you can just put in your credit card information, just pay for whatever the 5 hours, doesn't matter. So you don't have to worry about going inside and doing all of that. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, but I can go directly to the students parking on Monday.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, good.
And
I
then
did see a quick question regarding if you get a student award and it goes towards your tuition or kind of how that works. So we do pay off any outstanding balances towards Sask Polytech if you have anything owing. However, if you paid your tuition in full, you have nothing left remaining on your MySask finances or MySask Polytech My Finances page, then the rest of the scholarship will be e-transferred or electronic bank transferred directly to you, and you can use at your discretion.
Here's some good questions. I said things I would never think to ask, so it's all good. Okay. So again, if you have any more, go for it. But if not, again, in the meantime, if people are thinking of questions or want to put it in, go for it. But I do just want to add a couple of like ending remarks about this entire virtual orientation experience. I am curious, first of all, if anyone has come to every single session. So that would be the Navigating Sask Polytech, which had myself and Heather Tway, as well as all 5 Q&As. I'm just curious if anyone's been to all of them. And if so, you can say yes in the chat. Yeah, Rebecca Mott, I do remember, sorry to call you out by name, but I do recognize your name. Okay, not the international one, that's fine. Yeah, okay. And again, if you're a domestic student and you didn't go to the international one, okay, we don't count that one. So maybe aside from the international, look at all this. That's fair. Yeah. Again, if you're not international, okay, I'll let it slide if you didn't go to the international specific one. Okay, exciting. That's really great. So hopefully, again, I said this in every single session, and I think you're all probably sick of hearing it now, but I really do want to say, just by coming to these sessions, even if you just came to one, even if you just came to one for 5 minutes and then had to go, you're already like 20 steps ahead, because none of this is mandatory. I mean, we push it because it's going to make life a little bit easier once you start school, but it's not mandatory. So the fact that you went out of your way to be proactive, register for these, show up, ask questions, like you're honestly, you're going to be set with all of this stuff. Of course, when it comes to the actual workload and that sort of thing, that's something that we can only prepare you so much for. But everything else, as long as everything outside of the academics, that's really what we're here for. Student supports are there for sort of with the exception of like learning services and so on, it's to make your student life outside of academics easier so that you can put all that focus into what you're here for, right? So hopefully you feel confident, or at least not too nervous starting school, or kind of going, what on earth am I doing? Again, just you have done a great service to yourself just by coming to these. So I hope that you feel as though you have some more confidence starting school without too many other questions. And again, just remember, everyone on campus is there for you and can point you in the right direction. So if you're just standing in the hallway, looking at the ceiling, wondering what on earth am I doing, someone will be there and going, hey, what do you need? Where do you need to go? Someone will always be there. It's not like, high school where everyone just puts their head down and is like, I got stuff to do. People are going to be there to help you. Nothing against high school, of course. Okay. And that's okay if you're getting anxious. That's totally normal, of course. Just remember that you do have supports that are pretty much, again, well, I should say pretty much everything we've gone through is free, with the exception of like, I'm sorry, parking's not free, that sort of stuff. But all of your support services, all like appointments, an appointment you make with Sandra or with Chantel or anything like that, all of that stuff is free. So you might as well utilize those services, right? I sure wish I did when I was in undergrad, especially. But these services weren't really talked about as much, so I didn't really know they were there. So it's also you now have the responsibility to tell your friends and classmates about all of this stuff who may not have come to these sessions. Maybe you have your program orientation on the first day and someone goes, learning services, what's that? Or career counseling, what? You can be the person to explain it to them and have the knowledge for them. So you can really help others too. And so that's kind of our favor we're asking of you. Spread the word. Because again, this session, I wish more than 50 people were here, but that's okay, because that's 50 more people who know. But now you got to spread the good word. Okay? All right. So I think on that note, we will probably just wrap it up there. But once again, keep your eyes peeled on your email. So again, whatever email you registered for this session with will be what I'm sending the follow-up information to. However, keep in mind, typically you're going to be needing to use your SAS Polytech email for everything. So this is kind of like a one and done where I'm sending it to your personal email, okay? Also, just make sure, here I had something else to add. Oh, also keep an eye out in your email for the recorded sessions. Like I had said before, we will have all of these sessions, including international, including the Navigating SAS Polytech. It will all be on a playlist called Orientation on our SAS Polytech YouTube channel. I will send out that information once everything is up. I also want to just give a quick a quiet round of applause or whatever it is to our wonderful media and production specialist, Greg Olson. He has been in all of these sessions with me, listening to my voice. He's gotten, what's an hour and a half times 90? Is that 15 hours? 15 hours of my voice, and plus more having to edit and go through. So Greg, you are fabulous. Thank you so much for everything you do. And thank you to Sandra, Amanda, Chantel. Thank you all for being here. And once again, thank you, all of you students, for being proactive and showing up and asking good questions and getting involved. So very appreciated. We cannot wait to see you in person. And again, if you're in Regina, you'll definitely see the four of us here. If you're in Moose Jaw, you'll see me and you'll see Greg around. He's not going to show his face right now because he's probably, unless he wants to, but you'll probably see him recording stuff around Moose Jaw campus. He's showing his face. Oh, it's black. There it is. Oh my gosh, the brains behind the operation. But of course, if you're in the north as well, there are plenty of, there were others in other sessions that are up there too. So you'll see some familiar faces. Okay. Oh, you finally got information about your classes. Wonderful. Again, if some of you still haven't gotten your course schedules, just keep checking your email. I know it's frustrating if it doesn't get to you till the last minute. I know that's not ideal. Just kind of the way it is sometimes, but you will know for the first day of classes. When we see you Monday, there will be tables at each entrance telling you exactly where you need to go. You're going to roll in and go, what am I doing? We're going to go, oh, you're in business information systems. You're going to go to this room. We'll walk you there. Okay. So when you first walk in, you will not be, I mean, you might still be a little bit anxious, but we will do everything we can to make sure you get to your classroom. You know what you're doing. Okay. Okay. So, okay. While we have it, I know I just did my little speech, but we have a question here. Can you share any information about financial assistance for the IEN bridging program? I'm not sure what that is. Does anyone know what that is? I feel kind of bad. What's IEN?
International.
I believe it's a nursing program.
Yeah.
If you've been internationally
internationally
educated
educated.
nurses.
Yes,
That's
there
probably
we
what
go.
it stands for.
Yeah.
As for student awards, I don't think at this time we have any for that program, but you would be eligible for awards that are open to any program. So definitely watch for those.
Okay. Again, when I say course schedules being sent, sorry, didn't mean to change the subject there. When I say course schedules, that and timetable, that's like interchangeable. So when I say timetable, schedule, it's same thing. And again, so in terms of your programs, it depends. Every program is different, but pretty much everyone is starting on the 28th. So on Monday. Yeah, so the classes will be starting during Welcome Week. However, like your program heads, your instructors know that there are events going on. Typically those events are taking place during the lunch hour, so you won't miss them. So just again, it'll just depend on your program, but you will be very much encouraged to take part in Welcome Week events. You don't have to register for anything. You just show up and you can't miss it. Things are just gonna be going on everywhere. Okay. So I'm going to officially end it there with a whopping 8 minutes to go. Check your email within the next 5 minutes for a follow-up email from me. And thank you all again for being here. And you have a wonderful, well, I guess tomorrow's Friday, whatever. Have a wonderful weekend. Good luck. You're gonna all do so great. We'll see you at Welcome Week. Please.
See you next week. Yeah. Hey.
So fun.
Bye.
Okay, bye. Okay, Anantha, I'll email you. Okay. Goodbye,
Oh,
everyone.
no. No,
Oh.
there will not be a location,
Oh, yeah.
occasional drop-off location for kids at South Polytech.
Sorry, I missed.
No,
Yeah.
just saw that one here.
If you want to ask about childcare stuff, Anantha, just reach out to me at student engagement at South Polytech. You can just respond to the email I send out and we'll chat about it, okay? I'm sorry, I'm not trying to rush. I feel like that came off like I'm trying to get everyone out, but I want everyone to have a little bit of, 7 minutes to go. Okay, bye everyone.